Hello everyone, welcome back to LewisFiction and welcome to MTV Spider-Man Season 2 Episode 12. If you have not seen the rest of the season so far, and this is your first time watching, then make sure to go back and watch the entire season before watching Episode 12, this season finale. But if you are caught up and you're not currently subscribed to the channel, I urge you guys to subscribe. We're trying to push 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That'd be absolutely awesome. With that said, enjoy the final episode of the entire series, Episode 12. We open up the last episode frantically. Peter is trying to find MJ. He understands the threat that Venom poses, and he can't let MJ get hurt. Peter goes back to his apartment and asks Harry if he's seen her. Harry is spending some time with Felicia as Peter rolls up. Harry pulls a face of rather disgust, still not happy with Peter, along with the fact that he's interrupted their date. Peter tells Harry to forget things that have gone on between them because this is bigger than both of them. MJ is in trouble and he needs to know where she is. Harry asks why, and Peter says he can't tell him, but he just needs to know where MJ is, because she could be in some real kind of trouble. Harry says the last he saw her, she was heading home to spend some time reading through some lines for a play that she's got coming up. Peter thanks Harry as he makes his way to MJ's apartment. He knocks on the door, but no answer. Becoming increasingly impatient and panicked, Peter busts down the door with his sheer strength, breaking it in the process. He searches around. The lights are all on. Even the TV is still on. Peter searches around for her, but there is no sign of MJ. But it looks like she was here. The house looks lived in. That's when he feels a draft crawl over the back of his neck. It makes his hairs stand, and his toes curl. He follows the draft as it comes from a back window, which, to Peter's displeasure, has a massive gash in it. Broken. Venom was here. He can feel it. Peter's worst fears have come true, as he looks around for clues as to where they could have gone. And that's when he finds a note. He opens it. It says if Peter wants the red-haired girl to live, he will meet us at the place where he left us. Peter knows exactly where that is. The clock tower. Venom has MJ at the clock tower. Peter, with a stern face of determination, knows exactly what he has to do. Peter swings through the city as Spider-Man, knowing what awaits him. It wasn't heroic. It was desperate. It was frantic. It was nervy. Peter lands at the clock tower, the weather pouring down on him as rain descends from the sky to the surface. He walks slowly, taking each step with dramatic caution, until, on the wet grass outside the clock tower, a flash in front of him. It appeared, like a shadow, like a dark reflection. It was Venom. Recreating the panel from Ultimate Spider-Man, Peter asks, why here? Venom will say this is where he broke their hearts. This is the place in which their relationship unfolded. And this will be the place where Venom breaks him and enacts their revenge. Peter asks for Mary Jane. Venom chuckles, saying not to worry about her. She's doing just fine. Peter tells Venom to let her go. This is between him and them, not her. This has nothing to do with her. It's just between these two. Venom says no matter. Mary Jane will be a consequence of Peter's failure to recognize his own incompetence. Watching these two stand off from each other will be like watching Peter's own insecurities. Venom being a literal and metaphorical representation of Peter's anger, fear, hatred, and his great regret that he has built throughout the entirety of the season. And now, it threatens to haunt him. Peter says, let's end this. And Venom couldn't quite agree more as they engage in battle with one another. This fight is brutal. It's hard. Peter wasn't prepared for the strength that Venom brought to the table. Venom was quick, agile, everything that Spider-Man was but better. Peter felt every punch, kick, and counter like a mortal. His suit torn, his muscles sore. And as they continued to fight, the battle made its way into the clock tower itself, where Peter spotted Mary Jane tied up in the corner. Peter shouted to her, saying he's coming to save her, before being ripped away by Venom once again, and collaterally injured once more. Peter's mask at this point got ripped off with only one eye being covered. And as he got back up again to face Venom once more, MJ gazed over to the battle. Peter lifted his head up, and that's when it all unveiled. Peter Parker is Spider-Man. MJ would finally see for herself. Peter looks towards MJ as he mutters the words, he's sorry. As MJ's face turned from one of fear to sadness and desperation, Venom picked Peter up by the throat, saying he's finally gotten his revenge. Peter, thinking of anything that could help him out of this situation, remembers he managed to dislodge the symbiote with the bell in the clock tower. That's how he got free. Maybe the same could be true for Venom and Eddie. He reaches out his arm and points it quickly to the bell that hung above them, and shot out one last desperate attempt for salvation. He yanked as hard as he could before Venom could realize, and the symbiote started squealing for mercy as Venom dropped Peter to the floor. Venom's webs also dissolved quicker around MJ as she managed to break free, the clock tower working. Peter reached up with all his might to web the bell again, but Venom snapped out of his pain and grabbed Peter's arm, saying nice try. He picked him up and threw him into the wall. Peter had not much strength left, as Venom reached up to finish him off, as the bell rung again. However, it wasn't Peter this time. The Venom symbiote started to melt around Eddie as Peter watched on, as it was MJ that was smashing the bell as hard as possible with bits of rubble found on the side. Peter smirked as he shouted to MJ to carry on. MJ kept hitting the bell as hard as she possibly could as Peter shot out a web to Eddie. As the symbiote continued to dissolve around him, he pulled with his utmost strength and everything he had left. Peter finally breaking Eddie free from the symbiote. As the symbiote lay there, defeated and destroyed, Peter took a sigh of relief as Venom was no more. Eddie, however, begged for the symbiote back, saying he can't take that away from him. Peter places his hand on Eddie's shoulder, telling him it's over. Peter webs the symbiote in a net so it can't escape. Eddie tries to clamor for it back before Peter webs him up too, telling him to give it up. It's over. As the battle comes to a close and the dust settles, the police arrive on the scene, taking Eddie away, securing the symbiote, and sending it away forever. We cut to Peter and MJ, who sit on top of the church, with Peter's mask half broken and his pride half bruised. Peter says he's sorry for lying all this time. MJ asks why he never told her he was Spider-Man. Peter will say because he wanted to keep her safe. And it's not like he didn't want to tell her. All he's ever wanted to do is keep everyone safe. And then when Indy was killed, it made him question everything. Who he was allowed to love. Who he was allowed to cherish. The man he was allowed to be. The man who he was meant to be. And his actions hurt a lot of people. In the aftermath of Indy's death, he realizes this now. He realizes that the man that he became wasn't the man he wanted to be. Wasn't the man that everyone else wanted him to be. Peter apologizes for pushing her and Harry away. He just wanted them to not end up like Indy, because he loves them too, more than anything in the world. MJ gets it, as she puts her arm around Peter, embracing him. She says it's okay. It's over now. Peter says that he understands if she never wants to see him again. He's done some really horrible things, being a horrible person. Spider-Man also isn't exactly the most popular person around this city too. MJ smiles and picks Peter's chin up, saying she loves him, saying he's not Spider-Man. He's Peter Parker. And that's what she loves him for. She kisses Peter, and Peter kisses her back, as in the distance the sun rises on the other side of Manhattan. Despite the trials and tribulations, despite the death of Indy, despite everything that has happened with Venom and Eddie, Peter Parker got his happy ending, as we bring Season 2 of MTV Spider-Man to a close right there. Thank you everyone for watching MTV Spider-Man Season 2. If you did enjoy, make sure to hit a like on this video. Also, make sure to comment down below what you thought about this season as a whole and the episode. On the left-hand side of the screen, you can see my pitch for a perfect Spider-Man trilogy. And on the right-hand side of the screen, you can see my pitch for a Spider-Man Origins game in the Marvel Spider-Man universe. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care and keep telling stories.